Hi there folks, Andrew here at Chatfuel. Today we're going to be talking about social proof and how you can use it in your Messenger bot. If you run an e-commerce store, you know just how important social proof is in selling your products, because in this hyper-competitive e-commerce space that we're in, the reality is if someone has the choice between buying a product with no customer reviews and one with reviews and positive praise, they're going to choose that later option. So the question is, how do you set this up in Chatfuel? First, we're going to create our product in Chatfuel. And if you're an advanced user, you know just how simple this is. But to the newcomers, I'll show you right now. So I've just created a folder here, essentially a group called Social Proof, which we're using for this demonstration. And I'll create a block here. And let's call this block product. And here we'll just create an image and a module essentially of our product in Chatfuel, where then people can choose to read reviews or go through to, let's say, Shopify and make that purchase. So I'll use the gallery card option right here, upload an image. And for the image, I'll use this shirt image that I've previously taken with one of our own Chatfuel shirts. I'm going to change the orientation to square because it's a 1-to-1 ratio square image. Don't worry though, this isn't super important for the sake of this demo. Click done. And perfect. So now users can interact with our chatbot, see this product that we're selling, and then we'll add a couple more features here. So for the heading, let's just call this Chatfuel T. Can put in parentheses black since that's the color. We could add some more information here about pricing. Let's say this is $25. And then for the buttons, for the calls to action here, let's add two options. The first one can simply be buy now, and we'll link that to our Shopify store. I'll just put a placeholder URL here like shopify.com/chatfuel. And we are good to go. We'll add another option here, which is the meat and potatoes of this tutorial, of course, which is to see testimonials or reviews of this product. Obviously, testimonials lend themselves more to a service-based product and not so much a physical product like this, but nonetheless, we'll just call this testimonials. And then let's link to a corresponding block. So I'm going to create a block over here called testimonials. And I'll show you a couple different ways we can include testimonials, different formats for those in Chatfuel. So before I continue, let's link this testimonials block to, or button rather, to that block, testimonials. Great. So we have this full circle of connection here, and now we can move into the testimonials. So I'll show you three different ways to include social proof or testimonials in your Messenger bot. The first way is very simple, just as you would expect, which is using the text card here. This is just like a written review on, let's say, Amazon or your Shopify store. It's super straightforward, and you have lots of creativity here. So for example, I could use some emojis. I'll bring up the emoji picker here and type in, let's say, star. Could also use the native emoji picker here as well. So I'll type in star, and let's copy and paste this 5 times for 5 stars. 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. And then we can include a simple quote here like, "This is the most comfortable tee I've ever worn. Life-changing." Great. And then we could also include, let's say, the person's name. I'll say Alex, and maybe Cleveland, Ohio as their location. One interesting point of research here as an aside is that research shows the more information you give about the customer leaving the review, the better your conversion rate. So in other words, having more pieces of data helps the customer, your ideal target customer, identify better with that reviewer and be more likely to purchase. So for example, I have the location here, which might help. I have the person's name, which might identify them as male or female. I could include other factors like age, etc. So just something to keep in mind as you go through this process. Okay, great. So I've included a very simple written testimonial here. Obviously, if I wanted to, I could include more, and I'll show you what that would look like potentially. There's a number of ways to do this, but let's say I want to include 3 testimonials. So I'll paste this 3 times just for placeholder text. And instead of just throwing all of this information at the user at one time and overwhelming them, it's really best practice to separate this and give the user some sort of way to digest each piece of content as it comes. So two ways to do this that are really simple are first using the typing animation. And so we could do something like 2 seconds, let's say. We can test this to see what the reading speed is of the average user, but let's say 2 seconds, and then we could separate this other one as well by 2 seconds. And again, this just gives the user some time to read through before being bombarded with all this text. And then another option you have, if you want to advance the text at the user's own pace rather than this predefined speed of 2 seconds, you could use quick replies instead. And I'll show you this just super quickly since it's more detailed than the broader social proof theme of this video. But you could also use quick replies, and you could say something like read next review, and then it will only advance to this next text card once the user voluntarily clicks that. And so then you could replace this with a quick reply to, or leave it as is. So that is the first way of providing social proof in your Messenger bot, simply through written testimonials. Now I'm going to fast forward as I delete this, and we'll move on to the next section. Another probably more efficient way, although there are some downsides to it, of displaying a social proof in your Messenger bot is through, again, just like we already used with the product itself, using the gallery card. So the advantage here is that all the testimonials, all the reviews can be displayed at once in a horizontally scrollable gallery or carousel. And so this is great because users can just scroll through quickly at their own pace and get an idea of the product that they're interested in. The downside, though, is that you're more limited in the text that you can include. So let's say instead of a full paragraph long review that you could include in the text card, with galleries here, you're limited in your character count. So perhaps you use an excerpt of a review. Maybe you pull out the most fiery details of that make people want to buy, and then you scrap the rest. So for example, what this would look like is using the text that I used in that last review. Let's just say this tea was life-changing, for example. We're pulling out that piece of the broader review, just including this here. And then if we wanted to, we could include those stars down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we could also include other relevant information, but we'll keep it simple for now. And then again, just like with the text cards, if I wanted to, I could click to add multiple reviews here, up to 10, but I'll just keep one here for simplicity. Another option that I have as well, because in this gallery card, we haven't included any identifying information about the reviewer. If we wanted to do that, perhaps we would move the stars up here and move those on the next line. And then down here, we could include the description of the customer. So for example, we could say Alex, Cleveland, Ohio, etc. And then if we really wanted to, we could upload an image here, either of the customer, of the product, such as a product image that they've taken for that extra added layer of social proof. The sky's really the limit here with what you can do, but this is a secondary way to show social proof in Chatfuel instead of just the written text. This is a better way to, in my opinion, organize and visualize all those reviews. The user can go at their own pace, and you can add some imagery as well. Now, the last option here is using a video, and this can be the most visceral way to present social proof because it's not just plain, somewhat boring text. It's the actual customer, telling you what they love about the product, being animated, showing off their personality. And so to do this, it's also very, very easy in Chatfuel. For this, we're going to click more here and choose the video plugin. Once we've selected the video plugin, we're going to upload our testimonial video to Facebook, which I've already done over here. Keep in mind, it doesn't need to be uploaded to the same Facebook page that your bot is connected to. In this case, it just so happens to be the case. But if you don't want, for example, this video to be on your main brand Facebook page, you can upload it to just a dummy Facebook page. And as long as that video is publicly available, it'll work. So now I'm going to click here on the timestamp, right click that or open it in a new tab and click copy link address. And then we'll go back into Chatfuel and simply paste in that URL. I'm going to remove all the extraneous information here in the URL because that is not necessary. And there is quite a bit of text here. So give me 1 minute. Cool, so now we've cleaned up just the base URL. We have the video here, easily accessible. You can also upload these videos to your own server or a cloud service like Dropbox, Google Drive, etc. But I prefer using Facebook because the advantage is everything loads very quickly. It's automatically cached in Facebook, so Messenger loads it instantaneously. There's no buffer or waiting time for users. And that really does matter. So great, now we have our testimonial here. Again, to put this in context, the user sees this product, they click on testimonials, they're taken over here and they see that video testimonial. Now, of course, you can combine each of these methods as well. For example, if you wanted to, when people get to this testimonials block, you display a gallery card first that shows 3 different customers, let's say, and then a user can pick the customer where they see this image of them that they identify with most and then watch their specific testimonial video. So it's more tailored and targeted to that customer. And you just don't have one standardized video here about the product. So those are really the 3 ways to display social proof in Messenger, the 3 that I recommend at least. It is worth noting as well that in each of these methods, the written testimonials, the galleries, and the videos, that you always want to provide the user some sort of easy access to backtrack and go back to this main product block so they still have a easy, convenient, and accessible way to go onto your Shopify store, let's say, and buy that product. In other words, you don't want there just to be this dead end once they see the testimonial and then they don't end up converting. So in the video example here, it's a little bit trickier because we can't include quick replies under videos. We could use the Facebook media template, but that's a whole separate video. It can get a little tricky. And so if we want to provide that backwards navigation, let's say in this block, we would want to create a text card here and say, wanna go back to see the product, for example. You could probably make your copy more imaginative and better than this, but just as an example, we could then add a button and say, yes, go back. We could include a backwards arrow emoji if we wanted to, and then simply link to that product block that we just created. So again, we're giving the user easy navigation back so that ultimately they convert. Or if we wanted to, we could even be more clever and just include a link here to buy that takes them directly to Shopify to eliminate that intermediary step of going back and then going to Shopify. So in the other examples, you could just include this as I've done here with a button, with a quick reply, and those are some navigational techniques that you can use. Now, one last thing that I will mention, because it's important to note, especially if you're a more advanced user here, is the ability to match users who have interacted with your bot on Facebook with those who have actually completed a purchase successfully on your Shopify store. Now, I have a separate tutorial showing you how to set this up, so I'm not going to belabor the point here, but just know that let's say you have all these users in Messenger, some of them are going to complete a purchase on Shopify. If you wanted to take your social proof to an even higher level, what you could do is basically segment those people who have converted on Shopify, who are customers. In the People tab here, you can do this automatically on autopilot, and you could say, okay, I want to find all the people who are customers who have purchased from me on Shopify, and then segment them in this list, export those users into a custom audience for Facebook ads, and then use sponsored messages in Facebook ads to, let's say after a week or a month after these people have purchased, send them a follow-up message on Messenger prompting them to share with you pictures of their product, whether it's a t-shirt or whatever they're ordering, so that ultimately you can get more user-generated content from them and build your social proof on other platforms such as Instagram, on your Facebook page, wherever it might be, so that ultimately you are expanding your brand. So in other words, you can use Messenger as a springboard to not only share social proof with your audience on Messenger and those subscribers, but also use it as a mechanism to capture more social proof that you can share on these other channels as well to ultimately grow your sales and build your brand image. So that's it from me. As a recap, the 3 ways that I suggest building social proof in Messenger are using written reviews, using images and gallery cards to organize your reviews in one coherent module, and then also using video testimonials, which are incredibly powerful. And of course, as I just mentioned, don't forget about retargeting these people who have purchased. Again, I'll include a link to that tutorial on how to match those customers in Shopify and Messenger in the description of this video. But remember that you can also use that technique to retarget them and build your social proof even further across your entire brand. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, how you plan on using social proof in Messenger, or how you're already using it with your e-commerce brand. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy botting.